Right then, welcome to today's video, and this one, I haven't done one of these in months. It must be about 7 or 8 months. But I started a series which ended at one episode called Deconstruct. So to get back into doing these, I'm hoping to do one of these after each external vlog, just to get back into doing them. Show you in a shorter video time, showing you what goes into making one of my videos, that it doesn't involve watching for an hour and a half of one of my live streams. So just like a quick walkthrough of some of the layering I've done and other alterations to get us to the end result. So the one we're starting with today is an image called Borderlands at Peace. This image was made of 3 layers. So these layers have been cleaned up in Lightroom. A few colour alterations, contrast adjustments. Let's just have a quick look through to see what I actually had done. White balance just on automatic. Contrast dropped a tiny amount. Highlights brought down. Shadows opened up slightly, added a bit of vibrance and saturation. I have a feeling I may have just clicked the auto button on these, because I tend not to adjust the vibrance and saturation very much. So there you go, cleaned up, denoised, got rid of the dust bunnies, and off and running. We have 3 of these which ended up getting blended together. So that one, this one, and this image, and those were opened as layers in Photoshop and then blended together. The initial blend of the 3, I did do a couple of things. Let's just knock some of these out. This one image, this one frame, I masked out a lot of the surrounding area, so just retaining the shape of the tower. This layer was pretty much left as is, and then the top layer was just again left slightly less opacity at 80%, but moved in position so that the structure of the tower kind of overlapped with all 3 layers. And this was really just to give us a kind of a nice impressionist kind of starting point, using the structure of the tower as the main focal point. And these images were all chosen basically because of all the nice negative space on the right hand side and on the base of the image. So I know when we're going to do into the Analog Effects Pro side of things, that would rotate quite nicely and accentuate the tower more, and give some nice mixes between yellows and blues, to almost give that a very ethereal looking image, which, as you'll have seen from the starting point, is pretty much what was achieved. So of course the problem with these videos is that I can't actually show you what I actually did in Analog Effects Pro, because all it does is export as a single layer and it doesn't retain all the instructions that it went through. So it doesn't give you all the processes that you put into it to get to the final stage. So let's just have a look at the stage I did end up at. I will have used one of my presets and then adjusted from there, on positioning elements to again accentuate the tower here. As you can see, it's obviously it looks like it's reflected. There's a very bright area here, which during the processing I kind of pushed the image towards of that being a sunrise or sunset, whichever way round you want to do it. Probably sunrise because it was a lot brighter. But one of my concerns with this was that there was this wedge in the base of the tower, so I needed to do something with that. So to get around that wedge that was taken out, to almost fill that in, because if it was a sunrise you would get that harsher line, even though we are looking at a very loose, ethereal, impressionist kind of image. I was concerned that there wasn't that hard edge of the tower, and to get over that, all I simply did was duplicate this layer as it is, and move it down, give it a darken blend mode, so the darker pixels would accentuate over the lighter pixels, and then just mask in just that small area. Enable that layer mask, and you can see if I switch this layer on and off, it just fills in very subtly, very nicely, but it does give you that harder edge. So that got us to this stage. The curves adjustment just to improve some of the, just a very shallow S curve. Just checking that I didn't do any other color adjustments. No, just a very subtle RGB S curve. Sorted that out nicely. One concern here was it was very, very, very white in the center there, and I did want to reduce that a little bit, and maybe even spread that light out a bit as well. So what I did in this layer, which when I switch that on, you can kind of subtly see that it does kind of lighten the area a bit. So that white area there that I'm seeing as the sun, the rising sun, and I wanted to actually soften that because it is quite white. So what I did do was use a gradient layer. I'll turn this on, and you can see the difference. So that was before. Turn it on. There we are. It's a little bit yellower, a little bit softer. You can also see that I've got a mask there as well. So let's double click on the gradient fill layer. You can see it's on radial filter, so it is circular. The gradient is a very pale yellow, right through to 0 opacity. And that was basically just moved around and positioned right there. And obviously that was affecting the entire image. If I disable that layer mask, you can see it affects all the image, but I wanted it to be behind the tower, so all I did was mask out the tower. So we'll enable this layer mask, and you can see it only really affects this area here. It's all very subtle, but it's all worth doing. And that's pretty much it. I just grouped all the layers together to end up there, and that was pretty much it in Photoshop. It's obviously back into Lightroom now with the finished PSD file, and this is the point where I always do my cropping. I always do my cropping last. And as you can see, it is either the tower is very central, the sun is just off center, so I wanted to make the sun in the center and the tower just slightly off to the left. So just a simple crop that really centralizes that sun and most of the tower in that central third. Lots of people out there should say you should, rule of thirds, your Fibonacci curve for composition and all this kind of stuff. Quite often, especially where this ICM stuff is, everything ends up in the middle. So you just got to go with it. And so that was my final crop. Nice and simple. Some sun in the middle, got some lovely blues mixed up with some magentas on the left hand side here. Some greys and oranges out here. It was like an image I really, really loved, and it did actually end up in my exhibition. So it's currently hanging on the wall, all very beautiful, and is it one of the big ones? Yeah, it's one of the big ones, one of the A1 size prints. For me, it's a real highlight of the year so far, so I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I thought it is very loose. You've seen what I started with and how we've ended up. So it was, looking at the processes we went through, it is a fairly straightforward, simple one. you know, a lot of these images will take me hour and a half, couple of hours. This one probably only took us half an hour, and most of that was probably just deciding where to actually push it. So it is a quite a simple one, but quite effective, and really happy with it. So hopefully you like the image as well, and if you want to see more of these deconstruct videos, please do leave a comment below, and if you want to see me getting out and vlogging a lot more, then leave a comment below as well, tell us that. I will try to get out as much as possible going forward. I've got a lot less on the books now that the exhibition is up and running, and I've got a lot more free time to get out and about more. Yeah, so that'll do for today. So if you've enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up and a comment, and subscribe if you're not already, because that always helps. And until the next one, keep hard. See ya.